Duggan, your locker mate, Luke Shuey, next year. You reckon he'll play this week?
Yes, I think he'll be available. So it's him and Shannon Hearn, who I think both have their hands up this week. So it'll be nice to welcome them back into the side.
Nice to see Waterman out there as well. Good having him back around the group.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's sporting a bit of growth at the moment, so it's good to see. He might need to freshen up a little bit, but yeah, great to have him back. He's massive for our locker room and brings a lot of energy. So it's good to see Jakey back and feeling well.
How is he at the moment? I mean, he's not obviously doing much, but otherwise.
Yeah, he's really good. He was obviously quite crook there for a while, and we didn't see him for a few weeks. But to have him back in the fold now is really good. And I'm not sure how much training he'll be doing in the early stages, but just having him back around the club will be really good. And he was doing some light stuff today, and I'm sure he'll build in nicely to finish off the season.
He's a big wrestling fan. He didn't come into like an entrance theme music or anything when he came back?
No, he sort of slipped in and just went about it pretty quietly, which is unlike him. But yeah, he sort of had to compete with Nick coming back into the club as well. So the big dog took the spotlight.
Coming up against Richmond this Sunday, how's the mood been around the club heading into this clash?
Yeah, it's been really good. Obviously, it's another disappointing loss for us coming off the Brisbane game, but back in front of home crowds at home, obviously, and yeah, we're excited by the challenge of Richmond this Sunday. We think they're finding some form in this half of the year as well, so big challenge for us, but super excited with, like I said, Shannon and Luke back, and we've got a number of boys coming back through as well that will have their hand up to be available.
And coming up against them back in round 8 at the G, sort of stuck with them for about 2.5 quarters there. Have a few more players on deck this time around. Do you think it, probably, something you could take out of round 8, I suppose? Yeah,
there definitely be some confidence from that game for sure. It was, I think, when we look at our key stats across the year, that was one of the games where we were able to match them for like you say, probably 2.5 quarters. So they ran away with it in the end, but we'll certainly look at that game and see what we did to stick with them for so long.
What was your key takeaway? I mean, there's been a bit of a fluctuation in performance, and some people say effort, but for you guys, when you take a look at sort of the stats, where's the difference?
A lot of it, to be honest, is the starts to our game. I think we've leaked the first goal quite easily in a lot of our games recently, and again on the weekend we give Brisbane a 7 or 8 goal head start before we actually hit the scoreboard. So key stats aside, we think getting the start right is the most important thing for us at the moment, and it's quite hard to do away from home. I think a lot of teams would put their hand up and admit that. So we need to find a way, both home and away, to start really well. And I think we saw it at the St Kilda game. So we've got that proof there that we can do it. But I think the start is our biggest focus at the moment.
Is there anything before a game you can do differently? Music, pumping up, I don't know, something different that you can do to try and get the energy level so that doesn't happen? Yeah,
I suppose you can look at all those left field ways a little bit, but I don't think there's too much correlation between how a warm-up or the pre-game music or whatever that is. I don't think there's too much correlation between how that performance then comes out on the field. I think comparing the warm-ups Brisbane to us, I feel like we warmed up in a really upbeat manner, and they were sort of going through the motions a little bit, and then the start just doesn't reflect the warm-up. So I don't think there's much to do with it there. We've obviously made a couple of little changes with different things. I put 4 new tunes on before St Kilda game, so I might take credit for that. But yeah, I don't think there's too much connection with those sort of things.
What about in the week leading up to the game? Are you guys changing anything at training to rectify the slow starts?
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to do that. Obviously, main training will be Thursday, and that's where we were able to train our contests and our physicality, and we can really sort of crack in with those match-like sort of simulation training drills. So I suppose making the most of those. So we're chasing quality with our training is probably the biggest thing, and I think on Thursday we'll definitely have some drills that'll emulate the start of a game. At the start of the game, everyone's fresh, everyone's feeling good. It's hot on the contest, and there's not much space. The game sort of doesn't open up till after half time at the moment across the whole AFL. So we just need to be ready for that when it comes on Sunday.
You're quite close with Tommy Barras. What do you make of the speculation that he may be interested in possibly leaving at the end of the year?
I'd say it's just speculation, to be honest. Yeah, he's a great teammate, a great clubman, and yeah, I haven't been reading into that too much.
What would it be like to lose someone like him, though?
Oh, it'd be pretty disappointing. Yeah, he's a great player, and like I said, a great clubman, great leader for us. So yeah, fingers crossed he'll stay. I'm pretty confident he will.
Would you be surprised if he did opt to leave?
Yeah, a little bit. I suppose it's definitely something I haven't spoken to him about. So sort of you hear a little bit of it in the background, and yeah, I'm not sort of bailing him up in the corridor and saying, "Hey mate, what's this all about?" Because I just don't believe it to be true. So yeah, I think he'll be around with us.
Just in terms of the last 2 months of this season, what are you hoping to get out of it? Both individually for yourself and also as a team. What are some of the areas you're trying to to work on to sort of, head into the pre-season, I guess?
Some wins would be nice. That's first and foremost. We'll go into every week with that belief, and we want to be in the fight. We want to win some games of footy in these last 7 rounds, and I think we'll continue to see the exposure of some of our kids who are starting to really perform. I think Brady Hoff was a perfect example on the weekend with a job, and then able to attack as well and have some impact there. And then Campbell Chester, Elijah Hewitt, we're starting to see some great glimpses. Ruben's been doing it all year for us. Noah Long, there's too many to name. These blokes are getting great exposure at the moment, and they will continue to do that for the next 7 weeks and play really well for us. And we think we'll be better off for that leading into the seasons to come.
Liam, we see Simo out in the public and training and in these presses. What's he been like behind closed doors for you guys over the last few weeks?
Consistent. He's been really consistent for us, which is which I think would be tough in his position right now. There's obviously results aren't going his way and our way, and I'm sure it would be frustrating for him, but he's been really consistent for us, as have the whole coaching group, and given us a really great platform to play our best footy and be taught the right things and try and emulate those at training and get those out on game day as well. But we've had a big focus on our kids, like I mentioned there, and we'll continue to do that because we think that's where some real growth will be. And then it's on us older blokes and leaders to play our roles as well and show them the way.
As the older blokes, you obviously unfortunately saw what happened with Stuart Dew today. Do you look at that and say, is it like an eye-opening experience to say maybe we need to try and lift another level for Adam to ease that pressure on him?
Without the Stuart Dew thing or not, I feel like each week I'm trying to play for the coach, and I think the boys would say the same thing. And it's disappointing not to see those results, and it's sometimes our effort's being questioned. And I don't think it's all that. We're in a pretty big pit at the moment, and we're trying to fight out of that. But each week we're going out to play for Simo, and I think we owe him a little bit at the moment as well with just how he's handled the last year.
Just to see that many fans, is it quite nice to see? I know it's school holidays, but to see so many fans up there.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's it was almost a shock walking out of the shed today and to see that many crew. And we were meant to do 10 minutes of signing. I think we ended up doing about half an hour because there was just so many numbers, which is great. We really appreciate it, and people on the fence, they're telling you how far they've travelled just to come and show their love. And we felt that all year, and obviously there's been some murmurs and stuff like that from some of our fans, but the majority have been really great, and we certainly feel the love.
What about numbers for you guys? I think there was only 2 of you missing. It must be, put you guys in a good spot to know that you have all your crew out there as well.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we had great numbers on the track today, and like I said, I think we will have, I'm not sure of the numbers exactly, but it'll be around 5 or 6, I think, to come back with their hand up this week. So it's a little bit late in the year, but it's great that we're getting back to that. And we saw the last half of last year, we started to perform better and get a little bit more health back in our lists, and hopefully we can do a similar thing this year.